Switch gears now to the gridiron, where the Saskatchewan Roughriders have thrown a contract in front of Eddie Russ. He put pen to paper a couple of days ago. Defensive back, new contract. Congratulations. And
yes, sir.
You like it in Saskatchewan?
Man, I love it actually, man. More than like it, I love it. Wouldn't rather play in any other place, but good old Regina in Saskatchewan.
So it's winter time here, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's cold. What are your thoughts on Canadian/Saskatchewan winters?
Being that I'm a Florida guy, had to get adjusted to it and get reclimatized to it because I went home to Miami for a bit. Oh, man, it was
so nice.
It was so nice on the beach, right? And I come back and it was like -40. So I'm like, wow. So my body wasn't adjusting really well, but I'm getting used to it now and learning to love it.
What do you think about the game of hockey? I know in Florida they got a couple of pro teams in the Panthers and the Lightning, but it's not really a big thing in Florida.
No, it's not. And for me, actually, I had to learn the game. I went in December to my first, actual game, and it was different. I didn't quite understand it, so I know the person beside me was mad at me. They had to explain the game. They couldn't watch it. But now that I got the concept and know what I'm looking at and really understand the game, I'm learning to appreciate it, and I go to as many as I can.
Well, it's Faith Night here at the Palace, and obviously you're here to kind of tell a bit of a story tonight. Obviously, a lot of football players, have been kind of brought along with a little spiritual help. You always see the celebrations and that sort of thing. Talk about your path to football and kind of how that aspect of everything kind of helped you get to where you are.
Well, actually, man, faith played a big part. Coming up, it was kind of a struggle. Me being the youngest of two older siblings who are incarcerated, kind of make some wrong decisions. My dad making the wrong decisions, being a drug dealer, but he's out now doing good. My mom only with the 8th grade education,
okay.
Out on her own at 13, first kid at 16. Right then, the odds were stacked up against me. So, I was like, you can't really get any worse. So I was like, I can only go from up, and I learned from their mistakes. And with faith in God and him protecting me and wrapping his hands around me, brought me a mighty long way. And it has helped me even now when it gets tough in training camp, when it gets tough in the game, that I can apply to, hey, I've been to the bottom before. I know what struggle is, and it's nothing compared to what I had to deal with now. So it got me to where I am today.
And obviously faith and that sort of thing plays a big role in football in general. And when you're in that situation, down, like you said, you got to dig deep and realize that, hey, we are just playing a football game.
Yes,
there
sir.
are a lot of bigger things in life that could get you down a lot worse than you are.
Yes, sir. It allows you to put it in perspective. Even say you get beat on a play as a DB, it's an offensive game. You will get beat by some of the likes of guys like, Chad Owens, Jamel Richardson, Chris Williams. Those guys are good. And you know what? You can't hang your head and just go into a cupboard or go into a dark place. You know what? Shake yourself off and go up and get ready for the next one. It's just like life. Shake yourself off. When you get hit with, with something tough, shake yourself off and keep going.
Sunday, I imagine some of your teammates will be shaking themselves off because they'll be falling all over the ice. The Saskatchewan Roughriders
yes,
sending a handful of players up to take on the provincial champion, 9-man football champions in the Melfort Comets.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen some of your teammates? I imagine some of the Canadian guys might be okay, but which teammates are you concerned for their safety?
Actually, I was talking to Corey Sheets today, and I think he's trying to come out. And, he's the guy that just started skating.
Ooh,
so he's talking about, I can do this, I can do that. I'm like, well, I don't know about that, buddy. You're going on the ice with former, isn't it former NHL guys going to be here?
There will be a whole bunch of people here. Obviously, it's a big hockey community. I can't remember exactly the entire roster off the top of my head, but
yes, sir.
There's going to be some skill.
Oh yeah, he was. You hear a lot of Canadians bragging, like guys like Getzlaff or Chris Milo, and the guys that, hey, I can skate, I can do this. And then Sheets come like, hey, I can do this too. I'm like, no, buddy. I know the difference.
So I got one question for you. Obviously, I do radio for the U of S Huskies football team.
Yes, sir.
And I get in a lot of arguments with those guys over what is a tougher sport.
Yes,
I know
sir.
in football you're getting knocked around and banged around, but you're also on your feet.
Yes, sir.
Here you're standing on an inch of steel flying around with a rubber disc flying around. What do you think, from your perspective, is a tougher sport?
I will keep it totally honest. Hockey. Like broken nose in football, you're out for 2 to 3 weeks, and hockey, you're out for a couple seconds.
And you come right back.
Yeah, you come right back. Missing teeth, man. You come back and play. Football, you get your teeth knocked out, you're out for about, a week or so, man. And these guys are flying around. They're mad. You don't realize how big these guys are until you get up on them. They're flying around going about 30 miles an hour, slap shots at 100 miles an hour with just visors on. It's dangerous sport, man. That's a man's game down there.
I'm glad to hear it. That's good to say. It's defensive back Eddie Russ of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Congratulations on the new contract.
Yes, sir.
I'm a big Rider fan.
Yes, sir.
Coming from Manitoba, I used to be a Bomber fan,
Oh,
but you guys
God bless
converted
you.
me. So enjoy the rest of the night. Have fun here in Melfort, and good luck on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, and go Riders.
That's Eddie Russ, the defensive back for the Riders. We'll take a break. Your second period on the way. You're listening to CK750.